Here to break down the latest in the race for the White House is USA Today's Washington Bureau Chief Susan Page. Susan, let's talk about those emails from Colin Powell. Obviously, no love lost for Donald Trump, called him a national disgrace, but also really took on Hillary Clinton for sort of tying him to the email controversy and that server controversy. What's the impact on both of these campaigns?
Well, I think it's not helpful for Hillary Clinton to be described as someone who has hubris. That was one of the words he used, and that the things become a mess when she touches them. On the other hand, that doesn't compare to his description of Donald Trump as a national disgrace and an international pariah. You know, Colin Powell, who has a lot of influence at Republican aide, top national security aide in 3 Republican administrations, for him to characterize Trump that way makes it clear that he is not endorsing Donald Trump. I think we still don't know whether he's going to endorse Hillary Clinton.
We've heard this before from others with experience in international affairs in regards to Donald Trump. Is this one that sticks more because of Colin Powell's background?
You know, we've seen an ad even that the Clinton people are airing that show Republicans criticizing Donald Trump on some of these same fronts. But Colin Powell is a figure who has great stature, I think, for a lot of Americans, a groundbreaker in his own way. And the fact that he's a Republican and the fact that he didn't call a news conference to do this, these are his private thoughts that he presumably didn't think would be hacked. So I think we feel pretty confident this is what he actually thinks. That makes it powerful, too.
The Trump campaign right now possibly worried, or at least having to deal with the Attorney General in New York investigating the Donald Trump Foundation. What is the potential impact there?
Well, I think these Washington Post stories into the Trump Foundation have been very devastating in their characterization of how that Trump Foundation operated, the failure of Donald Trump to put much of his own money into it. And now we have this investigation. Now, I think 8 weeks before an election, a Democratic Attorney General who has endorsed Hillary Clinton announcing an investigation on TV, I think it is possible that people might think, you know, this sounds a little like politics to me.
Possibly more positive for the Trump campaign right now. He did unveil a childcare plan that was very un-Republican. The first, I believe, actually to say that he wants to offer paid maternity leave. What do you make of that?
Well, it is not the Republican tradition, right? He would mandate paid leave for mothers, not for fathers. That's something Republicans traditionally haven't liked, another government mandate. And expensive, too, some of his provisions, his proposals on childcare, although he doesn't detail with a lot of specificity how exactly he would pay for it. So in that way, it's not a very Republican approach to do, but it does address his problems with a couple key kinds of voters. One is women. There's a big gender gap in this election. It is possible we will have the biggest gender gap we've had in history, bigger even than in 1996, the previous record. Also, with white college-educated voters in the suburbs, those are people who care a lot, pay a lot in childcare, care a lot about the issue, and that's why he made that announcement in those collar counties outside Philadelphia.
Yeah, Hillary Clinton right now is dealing once again with the transparency issue and not revealing that she had pneumonia until obviously that cell phone video came out. What's the long-term result? And I know we only have 8 weeks, but that long-term result for Hillary Clinton with all of these transparency issues?
It just reinforced the perception that a majority of Americans have that she's not honest and trustworthy, that she's not forthcoming, she's not transparent, she doesn't level with people. And, you know, that is probably her biggest political vulnerability at this point. So to that degree, it is unhelpful to her. You know, she has made the case against Donald Trump. And I think what her campaign now believes she needs to do, has not done yet, is make the affirmative case for herself. So if you can't make people think you're honest and trustworthy, at least you can make that you think that she's on your side. She's going to have proposals for you. And I think they're going to give a series. She's going to give a series when she's back on the trail, healthy again, of more positive policy speeches aimed at here's what I would do for you, not here's the reason not to vote for Donald Trump.
One of the new polls actually has her down in Ohio, in one of the battleground states. Do you think this is a result? I know it's tough to get inside voters' minds, but is this a result of some of the transparency issues that she's having right now?
I think actually in Ohio, it's a state with a lot of white voters who do not have a college education. That is very rich territory for Donald Trump when he talks about the failure of the manufacturing sector and the feeling that a lot of Americans have had that the economy is passing them by. And I think that's why he's doing well in Ohio. Obviously, a really important state. Those same kind of voters he's trying to appeal to in Pennsylvania. You look at the 3 states he most needs to flip, states that went for Barack Obama 4 years ago that he needs to win now. That would be Pennsylvania, Florida, and Ohio.
You talk about the white college-educated voters and the shift that we're seeing. Explain a little of that.
You know, this is remarkable. This is the biggest shift of any part of the electorate. Since we started looking at this in the 1956 election, college-educated white voters have voted Republican.
Right.
For the first time this year, they are, by a significant measure, voting Democratic. Say in polls they're going to vote for Hillary Clinton. And in fact, the swing has been huge. Barack Obama lost these voters by 14 percentage points 4 years ago. In the latest Pew poll, Hillary Clinton is winning them by 14 percentage points. This is not a small group of the elected. This is about 1 out of every 4 voters. And if that's sustained, it makes it very difficult for Donald Trump to get the math in key states like Colorado and Virginia to win the White House.
And again, 8 weeks to go, though, until we see those final results. Thank you so much.
Thank you.